Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's got to do it, and then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo Chicago, I am Officer Kevin.
What's up? It's the 90s. I'm on that famous 90s commercial yelling, "What's up?" to all of my friends over the phone. I'm Officer Grant. What's up? That's it. You got it.
Let's give a quick thank you to our guests from last week, the Dark Side Jills, Nico and Sarancha. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. And hey, let's give a big round of applause to a returning champion to Thought Cops. You know him, you love him. I'm talking about Aaron Klopfer.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
It's going good. I'm doing that thing where you put your hands together and like shake it gloriously. You know?
Oh, yeah. Like when people like, it's like a cheering gesture.
Yeah, like if I was like a Roman king or something and people were cheering me, that's what I'm doing at my filthy computer right now.
You're not doing the Roman salute, are you?
What? That sounds like has racist undertones.
Yeah, man. What the hell are you talking about?
Grant, you get some group chats we all know about. Didn't you just shave your head, huh?
I did just shave my head.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're not in the same room again this week. Last week was a special occasion due to technical difficulties. But Grant, since then, you ran mayonnaise through your hair and shaved your head.
I couldn't get the smell out, so I cut all my hair off. It felt like the appropriate gesture.
Sure, yeah, that all tracks. That's all normal quarantine behavior.
Can you do me a favor? Because I haven't had a good week. Could you just say concise? Could you just say like I got the mayonnaise wouldn't get out of my hair, so I shaved it? Can you just say that in one sentence?
I couldn't get the smell of mayonnaise out of my hair, so I shaved it.
You can use that as a ringtone, Aaron, if you want to.
I think I will. I'm sorry. I know it's weird, but like I wanted to hear that all in one sentence.
Yeah,
it is. It's a little weird, but I appreciate it.
It's
like
not
the third. Oh no, go ahead.
I don't think it's I don't think it's that weird, but I guess it is. I guess I'm.
You put the idea in my head. I'm just
I feel like I cut Grant off. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say it's like the third time of like shaved my head all the way down. So it's not really that big of a deal at this point in my life anymore. Plus, it's a quarantine. Nobody's fucking looking at me. I got nothing else to do. I needed a haircut. Fuck it.
There's no rules anymore, and also like you look good with the shaved head. For me, I'm concerned.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like if I shave my head, it might be hard to. My hair is like kind of thinning a little bit. I don't know which route it's going to go, and I feel like if I shave it, I'm kind of playing with the devil. You know, it's like I should just maintain what I have until it goes away.
Yeah, I know, man. It's like I don't know what I would look like with the shaved head either. And it's like when you do it, you do it. That's it. End of story. It'll come back in 6 months, maybe.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Aaron, speaking of no rules, you are a stand-up comedian here in Chicago, and I know during the quarantine, we talked a little bit about it on here, but it's made doing stand-up, I was going to say complicated, but what I should say is practically impossible.
Yeah, I mean, I have absolutely zero interest in doing any Zoom stuff. I'm not knocking anyone who does do like a webcam show or whatever, but it's like I don't know. Like, I feel like this is like, I might as well take advantage of like a break from performing. And if my only access to it is dead silence in my room by myself in the dark, while being vulnerable, even if the vulnerability is just me talking about my farts or whatever, it's just kind of like, I rather just play video games, or I rather just get a chance to be like, okay, I'm just going to have a very sad, long summer break from stand up.
I mean, I think that's fair because there's a lot of things that I was doing in normal life that I'm sort of taking a break from, like my day job type stuff. I started off strong with trying to do like fitness videos and stuff like that and just sort of fell away from it. But it's sort of like you said, it's sort of like long, depressing summer break where it's like, I don't have the fucking drive and motivation to do some of this stuff. So I might as well not get myself to the point where I hate it,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like this is a rare opportunity to kind of like have very little guilt for quitting something that is a big part of your life for a little bit, and so when you go back to it, it's like fresh, you know.
You don't want to burn out either, you know.
No, yeah, I'm already burning out from just other shit, so why burn out on something that I've liked in the past?
But you've been keeping busy though, while you haven't been doing stand up during all of this. You've been making your own videos, Klop-tube on YouTube, and posting them on your Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and everything like that. Just little short videos, like, little videos of you sucking your own dick.
I saw that in the notes. It made me laugh. I'm trying to remember who I sent that. I sent it to like a childhood friend who asked what I was up to, and he hasn't responded. But yeah, it's really funny to like I'll read like a self-help book about like spirituality and creativity. Like, you gotta create, and then like the next day, like I'm sucking my own dick, and it feels like a weird juxtaposition of like taking something seriously, but then you're just being a complete fucking goober.
That's sort of the nature of the beast, really.
Yeah. Well, I was surprised anyone didn't hate the video. I was prepared to post me sucking my own dick, and if you haven't seen it, it makes more sense when you watch it. But I was expecting
it is very repulsive. It is very repulsive, but I couldn't stop watching it also.
Yeah, I think I watched it on loop. It's a short video. I've watched it on loop maybe a dozen times. It's sort of hypnotic. Thank you. Yeah, that's the goal. I can make a GIF of it. I think it's the cameraman is what keeps it from being completely creepy. Again, out of context, not so much. But again, yeah, you got to see this thing, folks. I don't know how it makes people who don't know me laugh, but I think if you miss your friends during a quarantine, it's endearing to see one of them suck their own dick. Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah,
and the way that you do it is just genius.
Yeah, the technique alone.
I did it all in one shot too. So yeah, I'm very happy it turned out and somewhat coherent. It's really easy to do if you guys want to suck your own dicks on video. Yeah, it's a great tutorial if nothing else. But you got some other great videos on here. You got if quarantine Zoom meetings were honest. You got the quarantine uncle, and you got some other classics on here, like we talked about the last time you were on the show. God Hates CBD, which is a great video. Yeah, thank you. My most viewed videos, thanks to Grant. He posted it on like Reddit haiku or YouTube haiku. Yeah, YouTube haiku. It's a misdirection. I won't spoil it, but just like look for a businessman going through a tunnel. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Thanks, man. Yeah, people seem to like it. I haven't. Whenever I posted a video to YouTube haiku since, they really don't like it. But yeah, that one went well there. The push-up challenge video. I'm just laughing at that one. Oh, I love the push-up challenge video. Yeah. So many of those fucking subreddits though are so like one hit or miss for like content like that, and two are just so up their own asses. Like there was some subreddit that was like the perfect place to post one of the Be Nice to Me Productions videos, and I posted it there, and there were like all these people jumping down my dick about like, you don't self-promote here, and I was like, I'm not, and then they're like, nice video, asshole, fuck you, and I'm like, go fuck yourself, go fuck all of you, you're sitting around being all uppity about watching YouTube videos, fuck you. I've never heard of something so completely unearned in my life. Yeah. It's fucking weird, man. I don't get it. I understand just not liking a thing, but to be like, you're not welcome. Like, I remember one time I asked for like where to find a certain sound effect. I went to the wrong subreddit. People got so pissed off, like I fucking spat on their temple or something, you know? Man, fuck that website. It's like, I'm just trying to find like a Matrix punching sound, and then like you just, yeah, I don't know. It's just a fucking. You came to the kicking subreddit, idiot. It's like the internet version of road rage almost. Just like, hey, this motherfucker cut me off. He asked for a sound effect. Fuck you. Get in the other lane, bitch. Exactly. Yeah. It's some part of that brain. It's like, would you really talk to me like that? If we were, everything we're saying now is everything I'm saying right now has been said before. But yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to make more videos again now. I kind of took a break from it. But I mean, yeah, quarantines are not going anywhere anytime soon, so might as well get back to it.
Exactly. I know, like, I've been feeling a little bit lackadaisical with the Twitch streaming and everything, and I feel like I want to get back into that again sometime soon. So keep an eye out, folks. Twitch.tv/ThoughtCops. Wait till I get the energy back in my life, and I'll be right there.
Yeah, I got sick of making shit. Like, it stopped being cute after maybe a month, and so now, I don't know. Yeah, now it's like, I guess I'll try again. But yeah, for a while it was very fun. Yeah,
I do feel like there is sort of a corner that's being turned, though, because the more that this becomes just sort of normal, the more I'm like, well, why don't I make like more videos and stuff like that? Because at first it's like, yeah, you have that distaste of like, I'm pushing too hard on this stuff and I don't like doing it anymore. Now it's like, well, this is normal life, so I guess I can go back to my hobbies, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's like more of like some kind of weird adjustment to it. Like, instead of like unsustainable, like churning shit out, people start to do
it ebbs and flows.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of ebbing and flowing, we got a new 5-star review on iTunes. If you want to leave your own 5-star review for Thought Cops on iTunes, we'll read it on the show. This week's Thought Cops 5-star review comes from Asterios.
Whoa!
This review is titled, "Oh Hell Yeah," and it reads, "Sometimes I'm just vibing in my room and I hear, 'Welcome to Thought Cops!'" Thank you, Asterios. I did not realize that was you over there. Grant,
that's good.
You've been speaking about videos. You've been going hard, man. Yeah. You've been working on some re-educationing. We've mentioned this the last couple of episodes. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Thought Cops. Just search for us on YouTube.
Or search the word re-educationing. There's nothing else with that title, so it's pretty easy to find.
All one word.
We have, all one word. We have one that's recorded and put out for viewing pleasure, and one that should be out within maybe the next week or so.
Ooh.
And then 2 more that are recorded that just need to be on the chopping block. So, just make sure you're subscribed to that when that comes out. And then, if you guys like some of these videos, we're really... the whole reason behind me trying to do more of these is to get more listeners for the show and to really, be able to fund the show a little better, get more people on Patreon, get more of an active community going, behind the scenes and whatnot. So if you'd like any of these videos, share them around, put them on Facebook, put them on an appropriate subreddit that won't get you hate. Anything like that. Share them on Twitter. Just share them. The whole point is to get these out there so people are more interested in Thought Cops.
And speaking of that, if you subscribe to us on Patreon, if you're feeling charitable, at our $10 tier, we have a number of other rewards, including private ride-along episodes. You get full access to Fire Bros. You get in the live chat, and you also get early access to videos. So all videos we post from now on, we're going to be having early access to. Once the quarantine lets up, we're going to be doing a lot more Man on the Street stuff and a lot of other crazy cool stuff we had planned before everything happened. But in the meantime, we got the re-educationing, we got Twitch, we got a lot of interesting stuff. So yeah, like I said, if you feel like it, you got the money for it, it'd help us out a lot. Patreon.com/ThoughtCops. And we have a contest we have not received any entries to. Matter of fact, you should just pause the episode and work on this right now. If you are calling all musicians, if you're a musician and you like the show, we got a theme song cover contest. If you cover the hit theme song to the hit podcast Thought Cops, we'll play your cover at the end of an episode. We'll credit your work, throw you some listens, give you some new fans, and whatever the case may be. Something
we'll pay you in exposure.
Yeah.
meaning if you give this to us, we'll expose ourselves to you. That's how we'll pay you.
Also, unfortunately, this is going to give comedy bookers who don't pay so much leverage after this. Is people are going to be so fucking desperate that they could pay people like shit for even more so than in the past, I think.
Oh yeah.
People will fucking grovel for, decent stage time.
The economy is going to be so fucked when it opens back up. Just the amount of shit that's going to close down for good, and the amount of desperate people that are just looking to do anything that was once considered normal are just going to be... It's going to be a fucking nightmare. It's
truly horrible, like how little shit the government cares about small business.
And people.
And people.
Normal people.
Like how is that like... this is ridiculous. I'm very curious how other countries are handling supporting, like their citizens during this.
Well, I know that, we have 30 million people out of work right now, and yet Jeff Bezos is like set to be a trillionaire in the next 2 or 3 years or some shit like that. It's fucking...
I actually heard in China, some of their podcasts have like theme song cover contests, and people are sort of submitting to those for exposure and getting extremely famous.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And they're ahead of the curve, so.
Should I podcast in China?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be a Chinese podcaster. I don't give a fuck.
That's a big move, man.
Because I know, like, there's that thing where, like, if you're, like, a shitty white actor, you move to China, you could just be, like, a B or C movie star who gets consistent work.
Hell yeah. I'm 6'4". I could definitely fucking carve myself a groove out there.
Oh, dude, you could be like The Rock. Like, you could...
That's funny.
Just... No, get your traps a little like big ol' like because they like Vietnam vet or like young Vietnam soldier looking dudes.
All right,
like every American soldier in like Chinese movies, like they got the sleeveless and they carry big machine guns and they got very like brash attitudes.
Yeah, Grant, you kind of look like the guy who gets hit with the bars of soap at the beginning of Full Metal Jacket.
I think I look more like Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now, just minus like 50 pounds.
Dude, you got to get over to China.
or Cambodia.
Cambodia would be fucking cool.
Speaking of things that are fucking cool, let's get on to a very famous, very favorite segment of the show called 2 Minutes of Hate, where we like to blanket punish these annoying trends and things on the internet that bug us every single week. My 2 minutes of hate this week is autofill spoilers. So you just started watching a show, you're really into it. The show's been on for a few years, everyone's in quarantine. We're kind of binging a lot of stuff we may have missed over the years. And say you're like, oh, I'm really into Breaking Bad. And then you type, you're laying in bed, you're thinking about fictional characters, and you're looking on your phone and you're like, I wonder, look for more information about the actor or the character. And you type in Breaking Bad, character name. And then it's like, it'll be like Breaking Bad, blank, death. Like, that's always the first option. Like, any character who dies in like a TV show or something, if you look up or Google the information on it, the first autofill is always like death scene, death, gets killed. And it's a bummer. It's like you can't Google anything about a show, not even just like search for it. You can't even like, be careful if you even type the first 3 letters in, because the autofill is going to spoil it for you. So my advice to anyone out there is don't fucking look anything up if you are watching Lost for the first time, because it's going to be ruined for you in the search field.
And how hard is it just to do like an all caps, like disclaimer, like some kind of heads up if they feel that is a necessary description, like do some very large obnoxious text. I don't understand why it's that hard.
Well, it's just like, even if the video's not titled that, it's just the fact that people are searching for it, it's going to be autofilled.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm trying to think of like a spoiler that everybody knows. So you're looking up like, oh, I'm really into Star Wars. And you're like, Star Wars, Darth Vader. And the first option is like Star Wars, Darth Vader, death. And you're like, no!
He dies?
I had a friend that was a piece of shit, but it took him spoiling the new Star Wars in like 2016 for me to... This is what a piece of shit I am. It's like, he was like mean to people in my life, but it took him spoiling Star Wars for me to genuinely not like him.
I bet I know the spoiler it was too. Z Dealey in the chat says he says, damn, I just tried that and you're right. So I would say, folks, don't try this at home, because unless it's something you've already seen.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just recently finished up watching the newest season of Better Call Saul, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And you just have to make the concerted effort, like, just to, if I want to look something up, like, just don't do it,
Serial Lullabayer in the chat says, the 2016 Star Wars got spoiled for me in the parking lot on the way into the movie. He didn't even get to Google it.
Oh, motherfucker. That sucks. Yeah, I remember when one of the Marvel movies came out, like some little fucker with his dad was trying to talk about the end of the movie. And so I'm like a full grown man or an 11-year-old like doing earmuffs. So I walk past a child and just shove my hands on my ears.
La 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 la! I can't hear you.
I'm probably in sweatpants or some shit.
There's also like a trend online, like amongst, circa 2011 4chan internet troll people to just like ruin the ending of movies in certain like discussion boards and stuff like that. I don't know why. I think it's like. This sounds like I'm trying to sound deeper than I am, but like I think that's just all the control they have. Yeah. And no, I think you're right. I think that's true. That's really all they got. They got nothing else.
Yeah, it's like, hey, my little brother is passed away from cancer this year, and I just all I can really do is spoil Spider-Man for strangers on the internet.
Well, I mean, now I feel sympathetic towards that person.
Well, no, that's how it starts. Then he starts like killing small animals and everything else.
Right.
Well, if that was like a thing that like shrinks diagnose like future serial killers with, like torture small animals,
exactly,
ruin the Avengers movie. Doesn't have empathy. Said what happens to Batman. Just shit like that.
Not a good look. That being said, we can speak to the responsibility of people and human beings, but as far as Google, the algorithm, we have no control. So my punishment for the Google autofill spoilers is, I don't know, I'm trying to think. Grant, can you spin the wheel for me?
Yeah.
Just gotta make sure that this lamp's out of the way. Spinning now. Smoke the whole pack.
Smoke the whole pack. Okay, I got one for this. So, autofill spoilers. You look up one, you got to see everything. Every piece of fictional media, non-fictional media, every biopic, everything out there gets spoiled for you because if you don't have the self-control not to look up something because I told you not to and you didn't listen, your punishment is to... And I feel bad punishing the victims here, but... oh well.
Well, that's the show, really.
Yeah, you're right. So I'm a victim blamer, and basically, and everything. Actually, no. You know what? I got a better one. You get to see your own death.
That's spoiled for you.
You Google. You know how people Google their names?
Yeah.
You just Google. You're like Google like Kevin Potus death. Why is that the first one? And then there's like there's a mysterious snuff film, and there's even like an upload date and everything, so you get to find out like when you die, how you die. It's actually,
but doesn't that create a paradox? Because once you know how you die, you can avoid those scenarios.
Try as you might, simply won't work.
Or is it one of those? What's the one? Isn't there like an Edgar Allan Poe poem about like you have a meeting in whatever city and something? I don't know. Anybody know what the fuck I'm talking about?
All I know about that is all I know about Edgar Allan Poe is he's afraid of a little bird.
A little bird bitch.
Nevermore. Why you little?
Aaron, did you have 2 minutes of hate for us this week? Something you want to get off your chest?
Yeah, you get a load of these Black Lives Matter folks. No,
damn, didn't see that coming.
No. Please, cut that out. No, you can keep it. I don't know. Yeah, I honestly tried to think of something last minute while I was cleaning my cast iron pan.
Good time.
Yeah,
too.
As in a little bit of a time crunch. I mean, I had the whole day, but I don't know. I don't like that. I get jealous of other people's content during this time right now. That is so fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. If I could go internal with this segment.
Go off.
Hey, are you go off queen? Because I'm a go off king. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just ridiculous that I'm scrolling on Twitter or Facebook right now and I could have a shred of hatred towards anyone making a thing right now. It's like whatever keeps people from not fucking, from just staying in bed all day, like it should be good for them. This is the stupidest time to harbor any kind of jealousy at all.
I get you, man. I've seen people out there who have been absolutely killing it. I actually want to give a shout out to our friends over at Big Time Garbage, Brett Mercer and the gang. They have been streaming on Twitch like every fucking night the entire quarantine. And I'm like, I don't know where these guys find the fucking mental energy for this. And like, I'm more power to them. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, it sounds like they got a good thing going. I met Brett one time. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's great.
I ate shit on the show. But whatchamacallit? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's very silly to hold any kind of grudges right now. Also with Brett, like it sounds like he has like a crew.
Yeah.
I think accountability is a big thing.
True.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
If you have someone saying like, hey, we got to do this thing, you're going to fucking show up.
Like whenever, like if I don't show up to the podcast, Grant flexes his calves at me and I'm like, all right, I get the picture, buddy.
That's a very, I like that alpha move. But yeah, my 2 minutes of negativity is hey, Aaron, how about you make sucking your dick part 2 instead of looking over the neighbor's internet fence,
There we go. And Aaron, would it help to tell you that people would love to see you suck your own dick again?
No.
I tried. Grant, what do you got for us this week?
My 2 minutes I hate this week is when like younger people, let's say Zoomers, for instance, but just younger people or just sort of culturally ignorant people that don't consume enough content like I do, when they discover like old satire, and not even anything that's that old, but maybe just something that's like 10 years old at most, they discover old satire and they don't understand the point of it, and then they try and like get it canceled. Yeah,
I think I know the tweet that you might be. There's obviously a lot of it, but something in recent. What was that one?
There's been a
Super
couple.
Chosen?
Yeah, Wonder Chosen. There was one where it's a cartoon and it's very
it's
like
a puppet
over the
show.
top. No. I mean the portion of this was a cartoon. It was a cartoon in Wonder Chosen. And it was just like a small song that was about like respecting other people's cultures and we're all part of the same world or something like that. And then they would go to different parts of the globe and it would be like Chinese people in stereotypical Chinese garb with like the Fu Manchu and the rice hat, and they would just go ching chong ching, and then they'd switch it to Africa and it'd be people going ooga booga with like bones through their nose and stuff like that, and then the chorus was like this normal white guy going, we're all part of the same globe or something like that. And it's like the whole point, the point of view for that joke is that like there's people out there that say that and then believe these ridiculous stereotypes, and it's attacking those people. But because you weren't around to see it and you weren't around for like the sort of the cultural turning point that would create that type of content, because you're seeing it with these fresh eyes and you've never witnessed the show before and you don't understand what satire is, that you're like upset about that existing, even though it's very like over the top.
Yeah, and Wonder shows in like they attacked a lot of different, not even attacked, they lampooned a lot of different groups, and they had a whole episode just going into rednecks, making fun of redneck stuff. So yeah, I mean, you want to take something out of context like that without anything else around it. Yeah, it's going to look, whatever, but
yeah. And then even like before that, a couple weeks before that, people were attacking Tropic Thunder because Robert Downey Jr. played a black guy. And it's like, that was the point of his character in the movie, was to draw criticism towards actors that think that they can play any role. So he thinks he can, what do you call that? He thinks he can method act a black person. And it's supposed to be offensive, and it's like people watch it without the context, without the understanding, and they're like, are we just gonna let Robert Downey Jr. get away with the fact that he wore blackface in a movie? And it's like, everyone knows that the point of his character is that he was an actor wearing blackface. Everything you think about it's supposed to be that.
Right.
Also, there's...
Sorry, go ahead, Aaron.
there was subtext, like you said, like obviously there's a lot of subtext in it, and also the movie directly addresses it. And also, like I think if you're going to pick one or the other being more offensive, blackface is far more offensive, but there's also like Tom Cruise did like a Jew face basically.
Oh, that's right.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like you're just going to, okay, so your blackface is definitely more offensive if you're going to go into that battle, but like you're also going to ignore Jew face. Like that's okay, you know?
I think so, because people like...
I was going to say the same thing, like on Twitter, every other month, like some new person discovers like Blazing Saddles for the first time.
Yeah. Are we just going to forget that this movie happened? And it's like, no, you just have never seen this before. And it's just weird because it's like all of these misconceptions about this type of media could be cleared up by you just like doing a quick Google search or watching the movie. But it's the immediacy of these platforms like Twitter, where someone can just post an image of Robert Downey Jr. in blackface and be like, are we going to accept this? And it's like, but you didn't even look into it. You didn't even do basic research of Google what the movie's about. Like, how do you know what the fuck you know?
Zoomers scare me, man. It's always like, obviously there's in-betweens. I'm being hyperbolic, but like they're either like cancel fucking like a cartoon from the 80s, or they're like Ben Shapiro's My God, you know?
You're not wrong,
like,
though.
It's true. It's
like, I remember I was like in Lakeview or something, I saw like two Zoomers fucking, this is, you know, in the before time, and they're like talking about like, yeah, if you just start investing in stock now, you know, like, listen, capitalism is actually good. I swear to God, like, it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but like, this is the shit they were saying.
I believe you.
It was just like two kids drinking coffee before they knew how to drink it, talking about shit they heard Ben Shapiro say and just trying their best to say it verbatim.
I just think like a lot of, not to get too deep, but I feel like a lot of Zoomers that grew up during a very tumultuous time, like they didn't have the 90s, you know, like they just had 9/11 and then just full force the rest of their lives was what we have now. And it's very polarizing. And I think that a lot of that comes from just a feeling of worthlessness and loneliness and trying to find meaning in a meaningless sort of system.
Yeah, I mean, like, I at least had some time before, like, climate change was very scary,
right.
You know?
Dexter's Lab, remember that?
Dexter's Lab went fucking hard. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it did go hard, yes.
Very much did. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just, I know there's obviously, like, Zoomers who are balanced, just like there's millennials who are balanced, but just, like, it's just so, I feel, maybe it's just, like, an older thing where, like, the older generation always looks at the younger one and just sees the extremes instead of the nuance, you know?
Yeah. There are generational differences, though, and, yeah, I mean, how the context that you grow up in does influence you as a person, you know, and like you said, I do feel like every generation has had its sort of, like, beacon of hopefulness, whether or not you're like in the 80s and you're a conservative and you look at Ronald Reagan like he's the one that took down the Soviet Union, or you're in the 90s and you're like, oh, Bill Clinton played saxophone on Arsenio Hall. And even some of the people now, some of the younger people that look at Trump and they're just like, hey, you know, I'm facing you know, 6 figures worth of college debt and a crumbling economy and global climate catastrophe and all this shit. And this guy says he's going to fix everything. Like, well, you know, stick a fucking red hat on me and call me a groiper and, you know, get me a cat girl to fuck or whatever the fuck.
Shut up, boy. Man. That's crazy.
They exist. They're out there.
I know.
They're out there.
So what's your punishment?
What was my problem again? Right. People who find old satire. I think you should have to, like, watch all of these things. I know that that's not necessarily a punishment because there's a lot of good shit out there, but yeah, I do think that if you can digest certain satire in a healthy, if you can do it in a comprehensive way that makes you understand things a little bit better, I do think that you become a smarter person, you know? Serial Law Obeyer in the chat says they must be re-educated, and I completely re-educationing I completely agree with that. But I do think people should have to read as fucking boneheaded as it sounds. I think you should probably have to read like 1984 and you should have to read shit like that, and you should have to watch certain movies, and you fucking sit there and think about them. Think about the themes and think about the good and the bad in them, and come to your own conclusions like an adult.
Well, that's longer than 240 characters, though.
Well, it felt real. I felt every character in my heart.
Thank you.
If you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and oftentimes unusual punishment. And speaking right about that, have you, Aaron, have you seen the Jersey E-Girl?
Oh, yeah.
Gengar.
I retweeted her.
Yeah, Gengar GF.
So what happened was I retweeted it because it felt like I was watching a drug. And then later on, I see in my timeline, like, oh, she bad. And also the people calling her out were even worse. It was like the weirdest, like, inception of just like trash humans, you know? And yeah, that was one of those moments where I realized, like, oh, Twitter is a portal to hell. And you look at it every single second.
I agree 100%. So this girl, Gengar GF at Emma Langevin XO, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but she had this, I'll put it in the chat here. Hold on one sec.
Are we going to play this in the episode?
Yeah, might as well.
I don't understand the people who leave hate comments and then delete them when I reply to them. Like, what? Are you scared of a 5'2" white girl over the internet? You sure had a lot to say 5 minutes ago, buddy. Don't be shy, put some more. Don't be shy, put some more.
Okay.
It's like weirdly threatening in a way. And people seem to respond to it very positively.
To me, it feels like if you threw like Adderall and Hot Topic onto like one of the like the wives in like like the post Sopranos movie era, or I guess like the post Goodfellas era. Like, I feel like it's going to be like, I'm going to watch a movie where someone's like making egg salad for kids that one of the dads just hit. Like, that's the voice it makes me think of, if that makes any fucking sense at all.
I think it does. I'm going to trust you.
Thank you.
So yeah, people, this video has 4.6 million views. It was posted about a week or so ago. But I don't know. So people were trying to call her out on Twitter, and like, this is just so irritating. So I guess she followed a couple of people who, like, they're not even right wing. They're not even like,
just like she was following some controversial people. As to what their like political alignment is, I honestly don't even know.
I think the worst one was like a centrist.
But I think the one she was getting called out on for was, I think, Blair White.
Oh, it was Blair White and like Philip DeFranco or something.
What the fuck did Philip DeFranco do? The guy's so fucking milquetoast.
Yeah, that's it.
I saw Blair White was the one, and I think that's the one that she addressed in a different tweet. Mm-hmm. Here, let me pull that up real quick. She said in a tweet, apparently I'm a white supremacist now, because someone like retweeted that video and said, Jersey Goth GF is a white supremacist, so don't follow her. So she said, apparently I'm a white supremacist now. I followed Blair White, but I do not agree with her politics. I like hearing all sides of politics, even the ones I don't agree with. Racism is not and never has been okay. Sorry for any confusion. I think Blair White just had her Twitter taken down, I guess, for saying the N-word or something like that. So I think that's why. But it's like, I follow a lot of fucking people who I don't agree with either. A lot of times it's just to fucking get in their mentions and fucking bother them.
So that's where we are now. It's like follow policing, which, by the way, is the Thought Cops word of the week this week. Follow policing is when you go to someone's Twitter and try to cancel them because of who they follow on Twitter.
That's the thing on Facebook, too, like in the comedy scene, like if you're friends with a fucking weirdo who does something, like if you're friends with them on Facebook, it's like people call you out for it. It's like, no, they fucking added me 2 years ago.
And not to mention, like, I feel like Facebook friends is even different than like just following somebody on Twitter.
Yeah, it's just like, I forget both of them, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's very weird. It's just like a very, like there's better ways to have productive discourse than just like a blanket, like, oh, they follow this, so they believe that.
Yeah, and it's weird because if you were to go to anyone's Twitter account who's super partisan and you were to look at who they're following, they're not only following people they agree with, they're following people that they also disagree with, because Twitter's just a fucking cesspool of arguments. So you're going to see like Ben Shapiro following like David Pakman so that he can get in his mentions every once in a while and be like, excuse me, you're stupid. The point that you're making is invalid. And it's like, that's just what people do.
So it's not even just that, though. People tried to drag her by saying that her accent was fake.
That's not fake, dude.
No, like if you do watch some of her other videos, like her accent isn't quite as thick. And she did post a reply to some other video where she's like, do you think I talk like this all the time, like some Jersey mob wife? Okay. But like at the same time, who fucking cares how she talks?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. It's like, why is performance art only okay when you like the person?
Yeah,
like that's such a weird thing. It's like if you loved everything about her and she gassed up an accent, you'd be fucking praising her. But because you're just trying to take her down, it's weird. I don't even fucking care about this person, but it's just like, people are so selective when they want to tear someone down.
Yeah.
Just, I want to say that like I fucking hate Twitter, but the worst part is the more I think about that, it's like Twitter is nothing but a window into society at large currently. So it's like, that's a lot more depressing to think about. It's easier to contextualize it as like, oh, I hate this website, but it's the people that use it. This is like culture. This is the world we live in.
I do think that there is like a bit of a separation, though, because there's so much of that shit, though, that you say, oh, would you say this to me in real life? And for most people, it's like, absolutely not.
Right, like Aaron was saying earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's got to be a fucking either escalation. Something's got to change at some point. Like, this is just a weird thing to continue.
So I think
it's probably.
Go ahead, Grant.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I was just gonna say it has like all of these websites have like a natural ebb and flow, and just in the same way that like I don't think any of us use Facebook as much as we used to like 5 or 10 years ago. Yeah. Eventually, Twitter's just gonna like sort of go away, and it's gonna get replaced with something else, and the spirit of it's gonna be the same, but like we're just gonna be fighting about something different. I
feel like it's on its way out. Like this is the beginning of the end for sure.
I hope so.
So I actually do have a punishment.
Ooh.
I think I read this. I think Felix Biederman from Chapo might have said this on Twitter, where he was like, there should just be like an alternate social media for like people who just want to do nothing but like, because he like retweeted the cancel tweet where he's like, there should just be like a Twitter for like people who just want to do this all the time nonstop. It's just like a website for like 100,000 freaks to like.
Yeah, it's called Gab.
Well, not even that, man. It's just like it's just like we're just nothing but this like endless Ouroboros of like taking each other down for, oh, your accent's fake, or oh, you one time you looked at this page, you scroll past this one account. How about that? Where were you on Tuesday? How about that?
I mean, I think there is something to be said about like the level of like cultural salience towards a lot of these platforms, which is just like, maybe 10 plus years ago you saw a bunch of different websites, and now it's like, well, you got, I don't know, 5 that all of the internet's traffic goes through. At some point it's like, yeah, maybe we do need a little bit more diversity in terms of like, yeah, not everything should go through either Facebook or Google. Like maybe we need some different types of, even just different types of Twitters, one for smart people like me and one for idiots like Keemstar.
You kind of broke up for a second.
It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think I do hear what you say, though. I think it would be cool to diversify shit posting. Yeah,
as Zwick in the chat says, just go to TikTok.
Yeah, I think what we're talking about is there too to some extent. But the thing is, like, TikTok is just like, it's either like the really woke shit or the very like super racist shit. Like it's everywhere. It's so weird, man.
Zoomers, man.
We need a centrist TikTok.
Let's go along to our next topic here. I will. Hey, this is a 2-for-1. You get 2 Thought Cops word for the weeks in this episode. This one, I will preface this story with one word: deergasm. Go to the
Aaron, have you ever had a deergasm before?
I feel like I blacked out for a second, but I still think I heard what you're all saying. Wait, what?
deergasm, my friend.
So it's
She's getting her.
it's a woman
head scratched.
getting her head scratched, giggling. She has deer antlers on her head, and then she deergasms, and then gets hugged.
Thank you.
I mean, this by itself isn't the whole controversy.
This definitely started the controversy. This was like the linchpin that, you know.
I think it's just a problem when you get like these are just like the nice weird people in high school who would like go heh heh rar.
Yeah,
and they're really sweet.
Exactly.
They're really sweet to everyone. It's just but now there's a camera and Twitter, so it's like this is just like this is someone who you just be like, oh, they're nice, but you know, like maybe their breath smells or something.
With that being said, let's go to the next video here.
Well, no, I'm just not cool with white supremacy, y'all. It's really not that. I think a lot of you gamers are actually white supremacists. Sorry. Just a fact of how I feel.
You hear that? That is an assault on gamer Americans. So the whole to give a little bit more background to that clip in particular, she is a head staff member for Twitch.tv, which is the main streaming service or streaming platform rather for all things gaming and everything. And I guess they're banning voice chat completely. And she said the only reason they was because if you play video games, you are a white supremacist.
Wait, they're banning voice chat and what?
On Twitch.
So
I guess it has some kind of voice chat built in. I think partially she said something along the lines of like, she had two reasons. She said one was voice chatting is cheating because some people can't speak, and it's like for team-based gaming. Like if you're like playing Overwatch or something and you want to talk to your teammates like through a headset, I guess they're getting rid of that because she says one, it's cheating because I guess not everybody wants to talk, and two, she says because when gamers talk, they are white supremacists. Keep in mind, she also plays video games, which is, I don't know.
And is a white.
Yeah.
Well, is a deer,
bad.
but is a white deer.
So it's just a weird thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just dangerous that she has that much power. If it is her, if it's other people's decision, I mean, it is what it is. But like, the TeamSpeak seems like a pretty fun thing.
Right?
Like,
yeah. Exactly.
And two, like, yeah, there's a lot of horrible people who play video games, and they're very toxic.
True.
But, like, there's ways to mute them. You know,
Yeah.
like it should just be. They should just amplify how easy it is for the user to mute and report people versus a blanket solution.
Right. So I mean, this is like you said. This is just a kid with the bad breath who hangs out outside the library and is
Well, and then there are clips of her pretending to eat fake grass and pretending to eat the chat going rawr. So she literally is that person that does that. So I don't care about this like at all. I get why some people, like you said, she is in a position of like wielding some level of power, and you do have to hold some people that hold some level of power to account, to some level of accountability, because it's like, yeah, this person runs a website, and if the users of the website disagree with the decisions that the people who run the website are making, I can see how people, get pissed off. I mean,
it kind of seems like if like a town was just like, hey, on a lark, let's make a kid the mayor,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just it doesn't feel nuanced, man. It's just like at a certain point, it's just like a very simple black and white solution is usually pretty either the sign of like a really old person or a really young person.
That's a good point.
It's either like the fucking get off my yard, now your ball's mine, or it's like 19-year-old, first year away from home shit.
I mean, I want to say this person's probably around our ages, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they look around our age, maybe even a little bit older. But Yes, that's some strange stuff.
Yeah.
And also someone in the comments said Overwatch is toxic but not racist. Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of racist stuff, but I think generally it's just more toxic. It's just more trying to rip people down.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, it's still like, I feel like we've come a long way from like 2006 Xbox Live, you know?
Yeah.
Or the Baron's World of Warcraft chat.
Right. I mean, in a lot of ways, the internet is the Wild West. Less and less so these days, but I don't know. You know, the people want to be the new sheriff in town, and it's not going to happen because, you know, all these gunslingers out in the Wild West got something to say about it.
And what they have to say is usually the N-word.
Well, I mean, I was going to say there was a lot of like really negative, like immature responses to this whole thing, attacking her character.
Yeah,
You know, at the end of the day, if she's out there eating grass, it's not exactly hurting anybody. It's strange. It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
But like, it's not hurting anybody, but it's fucking weird.
Right.
I'm not personally that offended by like the Peter Pan brain shit where people are just kind of like, they just kind of hold on to that weird little kid shit. But yeah, it's just weird to me, the whole, just like, that's a pretty broad statement for white supremacy. I think it should just, there should be other methods to dealing with that.
And it seems like when you're saying other methods to deal with it, that Twitch themselves don't deal with it very well now, because I know if you have like a channel and people call into your channel and they like send you shit and you pull shit up or whatever, like you can get your channel taken down for something that like someone else says. So it's like they're not handling the shit well from that perspective. And it's like, so how do you tackle some of these problems? And it's like, are you doing it just because? And again, I say this as someone who doesn't fucking use Twitch and doesn't play like these
Twitch.
Fucking competitive. I don't use it that much. I'm not fucking
I'm sorry,
involved in it.
Bernie uses Twitch. I forgot.
No, the point that I'm making is that I'm not using it to fucking get simps.
I was trying to promote the channel, but go ahead.
I'm not using it to play competitive Overwatch or anything like that. Like, I'm not using it in that capacity that some of these people that are criticizing her for are like very invested. Like, I'm not fucking invested. If you took my Twitch account away, I'd just like, oh, okay, I'll stream video games on YouTube. I don't like care. I don't remember the point that I'm trying to make now. I don't care.
Serial Law Obator did bring up a good point in the chat here, where somebody actually responded to her who had dyslexia, and he was like explaining like how this was like not right, and then she just like went off on him and made fun of him for having dyslexia and like all of his spelling errors and shit. She said, "Get your dyslexic ass out of my mentions." And then she got dragged on Twitter, and then she had to put out a public apology. I fucking hate Twitter.
Wow. That's amazing. It's just like, you remember those like videos of like, you'll watch like a corpse decay, like a time lapse?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, it's kind of like Twitter. Like,
wait, Aaron, what was that?
Well, you know, like those time lapse videos of like, you'll see like a fucking like bird die, then like maggots will eat it.
I mean, I'm going to trust you that these exist, but it's not exactly something I watch before, bed to relax.
Grant, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
of course he does. This guy watches fight videos to fall asleep.
No, this is
don't pretend that you don't know what this is. Everybody knows what this is. There's videos of like frog corpses decaying on a tree, and they do like a 12-hour time lapse or whatever. I'm gonna look. This is not like an out of the ordinary.
What should
thing.
I search for?
Just time lapse animal dying, but like
dying. Oh wow!
Just picture it in your head.
I don't have to. I'm looking at it right now. 4K.
Well, this is a pretty long walk for where I want to go now, so it's not really gonna pay off in any way.
Sorry,
but like, no, it's okay. But it's like, that's how sometimes Twitter feels like. It feels like you see like a frog get born, then like within a day you see the maggots eating it.
Yeah, I'm looking at day 8 right now for this like squirrel, and there's now the maggots are starting to appear. Wow.
Yeah, so it's like we see the squirrel become a baby, and then we see the maggots. That's how Twitter feels.
And it is like a time lapse, because it all happens in it happens in such a short period of time, and it feels like the periods of time are getting shorter and shorter. Like it took like 4 hours for Gengar GF girl to fucking get taken down.
Exactly.
Like immediately.
Yeah.
You're right. Like,
yeah, it's fucking weird.
The loop feels like really, really small now. Do you think that's because of the quarantine? Like, do you think that has anything to do with it?
It's gotta be part of it. But what were you saying, Grant?
It's probably part of it, but it also seems like that's just been the nature of things lately. Like, even before the quarantine, it's been happening in, like, shorter and shorter cycles, you know?
Yeah, like, remember, who was the what you had her on the podcast? She...
Whitney?
Yeah, like, I know her. She was cool to me in person. Yeah. And, like, she was good for, like, a week, and then they tore her apart.
That's true.
Yeah.
But like, it seems like maybe now it would happen in a day.
It did happen in a day. It's accelerationism, baby. It's happening.
Oh, baby. But yeah, the dyslexic shit's fucking weird, man. Like, you can't... Yeah, that's just the weird thing about that kind of really... that particular kind of culture is like, you can't say something's bad then just knock a kid down for a disability, you know? Like,
right.
You can see it, her eyes look fucking off too.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. It's weird. I see the point of view from a lot of the shit. I don't care about it all that much, but like it's weird. It is one of those things where like if I showed my parents this video, they'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, they'd be weird the fuck out.
Yeah.
I think my general takeaway is like she seems nice and she seems like, when push comes to shove, probably like an okay to good person. But it's like, if you speak in blanket statements like that, people are going to really, really like pounce at any kind of hypocrisy. You know?
Did either of you guys have a punishment for this?
We shave her lawn.
Yes. Throw acid on the grass.
Yeah, salt her grass. No more deer play.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along to Key to the City, which is something positive that we saw on the internet or otherwise this week. My Key to the City this week goes to comedy legend Fred Willard. He passed away this week. Fred Willard is like one of the fucking funniest people ever. Just super dry humor. If you've ever seen him in any of the Christopher Guest movies, Best in Show, Waiting for Guffman. He was in a lot of stuff that Tim and Eric did as well. He was in a lot of alt comedy stuff later in his life too, which I thought was really cool. And he just stole the scene in everything he was in. Completely hilarious guy. He died at the age of 86 this week, so he lived a very full, enriching life. But I wanted to give my Key to the City to him because he's hilarious.
He's so fucking good. Yeah, it was nice reading about stuff after, like how for certain takes they only had the essential crew on set because like he'd make everyone laugh too much. They have to keep reshooting stuff. And like you said, like the alt comedy thing, it's cool that like an established comedy actor was still open to working with like new kids.
Absolutely.
That's something that is very rare to be, one, very talented, and two, be that fucking nice to the new kids on the block. That's really special.
For sure. Aaron, did you have anything Key to the City, something positive?
I went to Aldi. I don't know if it's supposed to be like internet thing,
That's
but
fine.
like
Aldi works.
People were nice to me at the grocery store during a pandemic, and I think that is good. Like there's a weird, confusing line to get inside the store. I guess I went the wrong way, like a goober, and like this like 5'2", I don't know, Latino girl. I don't know what the fuck. Was it Latino X? What do they call it now?
I think Latinx.
I don't know. She didn't look like me, and it was she was not Jewish, and yeah, she was just really sweet, and it's like I felt like she's been in this neighborhood for a while, and like obviously like I'm just like a goofy white guy hipster who stumbled in here a couple years ago.
The suburbs, and
just the fact that she was like nice to me and like smiled and was like, no, go this way, in like a sweet way. It felt very human in a sea of a lot of people who just like scold at people for not wearing a mask at the right time.
Yeah,
in a sea full in a sea full of Karens, she was a Stacy.
Yeah, she was Stacy as fuck. If Stacy's good,
it is.
Yeah, it's just it's just a very cold time by strangers, especially when you are shopping in tight spaces, and she was very warm.
You know, go ahead.
No, yeah, so key of the city for Stacy.
Yeah, I want to say, too, like Aldi, there's nothing more wholesome than trading your Aldi quarter with somebody.
I'm the one thing I'm trying to do to be nice this month is, like, I'm leaving my Aldi quarters in the cart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's my volunteer work.
Z Dealey in the chat, he wants to ask you, is there a key to the sit she?
How do I block him? I'm kidding. How do I heart react that? Okay, here you go. You get a little horny mouth. There you go, buddy.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Also, yes.
My key to the city this week goes to it's a Twitter account. It's just called Redditors. If you're looking for it, it's Redditor SOOC. I don't know what that means, but it's my new favorite Twitter account. The byline says Reddit wholesome Keanu Reeves Chungus 100 Kofifi Baby Yoda Elon Musk breathtaking gold. Thanks for the gold, stranger.
Perfect.
And it's just like the over the top fucking Redditology, which I've become more and more addicted to the past like couple weeks or so. This one that I'm looking at is let me link this in the chat for people. Out of context. Okay. It's a skeleton, like the Lego skeleton guy dancing around, and it says Redditors when they say not my proudest fap after they see a picture of a mutilated corpse of an 8-year-old child. And then just shit about big chunguses and fucking just that type of shit.
God, Reddit is awful, man.
The first,
yeah, I'm gonna go subscribe or follow that. That's fucking hilarious.
The first post is some video game. I don't know what it is. A bunch of like dancing guys, and the caption is "Epic Redditors" after they see a comment with 69 updates.
That's so good. I'm gonna fucking share. God damn it! This Instagram. This guy made a really funny illustration of what a Redditor looks like. Sad drawings by Jace. Okay, I'm sharing it. Okay, it's in the group now.
Let's see.
Do you have to log into it?
It works.
Is it doing that?
Oh, this is good.
Works.
It says that's a heckin' 10 out of 10 doggo pupperino, and it's a guy with a massive dent in his head.
And a very small dick.
That's sad drawings by Jace. Hilarious.
I think it's pretty average.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Well, let's see if it... I'm trying to link another one that says, thanks for the gold, kind stranger. Let's see.
That's the same one.
Okay, well, it's the same thing. Well, if you keep scrolling, it says, like, it's just a bunch of dumb internet fucking talk.
Oh, okay. I saw the one, I think you shared this, where it's like Shrek with the giant dick, and he says the Minions movie made $1 billion.
Yeah. I really like this guy. But yeah, one of the things with the hairy guy... with the very respectable penis, is saying, thanks for the gold, kind stranger. It made me so fucking happy. Didn't mean to steal your Reddit thunder.
No, it's good. These are all keys to cities.
So before we move on to our final segment of the show, our voicemail segment, Aaron, where can we find you online? Plug all your social media and YouTube and all that good stuff.
Since we've talked so highly about it today, you can find me on Twitter, at Aaron Klopfer, double Aaron, Klopfer. I feel like a douchebag saying the full thing. And also Instagram, Klopogram. You'll probably put it in the Twitter or something, or you can find it on mine. Then also YouTube. I'm trying to get more into, at KlopTube.
Yes, if you guys want to see Aaron suck his dick again, go give him a follow. Let him know you want to see it.
Please.
All right, so we're going to play some voicemails from some of our wonderful listeners at home. If you want to give us a call of your own, 312-788-7361, or you can send us an audio file at thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Hit it.
You know, I don't understand how Shinzo Abe of Japan expects their birth rate to go up when they only have manga. Shouldn't they also have manga?
I feel like we didn't get to touch on that this much this episode. Aaron's your famous long-running bit.
Autism.
One could say.
It's like there's the rule of 100s, and then there's the rule of infinity, and I think you've struck infinity.
Dude, I go through loops where like I hate it, but I still do it, and then like it's almost like when you're up too late and you start to laugh at nothing, and so like it's funny to me again somehow, which is amazing. It's like a really difficult marriage, but yeah, I'm obsessed with is there a fucking, I don't know, woman cow on the radio? You know, like that's a Chicago reference, I guess.
I think Mad Cow is international.
Man cow.
Well, what is? Oh, man. I'm sorry, man cow. Yeah, no. I think he's from Chicago. But regardless, the joke still tracks, and it's more of a rhetorical question. The answer is still being looked into as we speak. But yeah, Japan is fervently missing a womanga.
I like that voicemail a lot.
It was good.
Thought Cops. The last time you heard my voice, I was dying horribly in a bushfire.
I remember that.
I just want you to know that I'm okay. And it was just a joke.
Good.
But you know what's not a joke?
What's that?
Kevin. Pretending he has coronavirus.
What?
And getting everybody all worked up and worried. And then the next week coming in and saying, actually, I'm okay, guys. It was just a joke. Kevin. Not cool, man. Not cool.
Oh my god.
You know I love you. But I honestly expected better. It's not some funny, haha, bushfire that we can all laugh about. Real people are dying from this disease. You realize that, right?
Yes, sir.
Do better. Anyway, I know that voicemails are not supposed to go longer than a minute now, so I guess I'll just leave it there. Oh, and Grant?
Yeah.
59 seconds. He's done.
He's got a perfect voice. I'm frustrated.
He really does.
Like, it's so like he sounds like who you're afraid will fuck your girlfriend. You know?
Yeah, like me, the guy, or like what's that old meme from like 3 years ago? You, the guy, you're not supposed to worry about.
First, the one you're not supposed to worry about. Yeah, he sounds like that. Yeah, no, I feel very insecure in comparison to his voice. He sounds like strong maple syrup, even though he's from Australia. That's just how
whatever the hell they put on pancakes down there. But yeah, no, I did almost get coronavirus. I want to go come clear about that. And I tested negative, thankfully. So yeah, we can all laugh about it now, isn't that right? A big laugh at my expense.
I'm happy you're negative.
Thank you, Aaron.
Bud.
Damn, bitch. You live like this?
Hey, Thought Cops. It's your granddad, Firecloud.
Hi, Granddad.
My beef for potatoes this week
I like how
goes
we just
to
assume that,
hashtag Showergate. What's with these people neglecting to shower their feet or their back during showers? Like, bitch, those places stink too. You gotta take care of them. And now my 2 minutes of hate. What is the deal with these birds attacking my cat named Ahil outside? I mean, I understand she attacked your baby birds during one time or another, but do you need to attack her every time she goes outside? What is the deal with these birds? Officer Grant, congratulations on the new look. Have you considered dyeing your eyebrows white? You could really go for a Mr. Clean look. Just saying. Thanks a lot.
That's a good idea. Thank you for the voicemail. Grant, I
did have like that weird realization when I was cleaning my apartment earlier that's kind of what I look like, but I'm not piercing my ear. I would rather dye my eyebrows white than pierce my ear, so.
Also, please, if you guys haven't made the comparison yet, Google Scotty Doesn't Know, the Matt Damon shaved head. Looks very similar right now to old Grant. Also, that guy's, first of all, I like him. I like his voicemail. He sounds like if a programmer just watched like Monty Python every night.
He also fit like 3 segments into a 56-second voicemail, so that's what you all need to be doing.
Absolutely.
He did good.
Great work.
There was no fat on that. He did very good.
All right, let's get to our last voicemail here. This one is over a minute. I warned you guys. Everybody else got it under 60 seconds. We are going to see how this goes, and if at any point you near 60 seconds and it's not funny or good, we're going to cut it.
Judge, jury, and executioner, baby.
All right, guys, what's up? How's it going? You know how some people use GIFs to reply to somebody
There's
online?
all the space you could be utilizing.
And I like to do that every once in a while, when I'm feeling a little spicy.
Dramatic pauses.
A little sassy. But the search engines, they fucking suck because I can never find the one I'm looking for. And I mean, they have these tabs where you can look for different moods, I guess. But, I'm a little special, so in the head, I guess.
Right.
So I want to have the specific one, and I want the one. Oftentimes, I find myself looking for the one where Arnold's character in Total Recall says, "Look who's talking," to that guy who says, "You got some nerve showing your face around here," on that bar on Mars. And I can't find it. It fucking pisses me off.
All right, that's 60 seconds right there. He couldn't find the GIF.
Yeah, I'm okay with stopping it.
I give you a warning. I said keep these under a minute. You went at 2 minutes. Sorry you couldn't find the GIF. That sucks, man.
He did personally reply to you though, and he did say it's called 2 minutes of hate. I've done my homework, bitch. So
the segment we do on the show is called 2 minutes of hate. This is the voicemail segment.
He's calling in with a 2 minutes of hate. And pretty often, we also go over 2 minutes.
You guys collect the most exotic nerds on the show.
That's true.
God, yeah,
it's something you should be very
exotic
proud
nerd
of.
zoologists.
And that's the problem because people come on this show and they get the weirdest replies.
That's true,
guys.
Yeah,
let Aaron do his bits. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, listen. Grant, you bring up a very good point.
I bring up a lot of good points.
2 minutes of hate. I think, okay, I had to keep it to 1 minute on this episode, but from now on, I will be extending it to 2 minutes. And with that being said, we'll play the last 60 seconds of the voicemail right now.
Yeah, because,
come on.
It's there's only three gifts people reply with. It's either Michael Jackson eating popcorn,
right.
some Beyonce bullshit, and some black woman waving at you. And
I'm starting to regret this.
And it annoys me to no end. And I can never find the ones I'm looking for, and it really pisses me off. Yes, I'm repeating myself, and it's on purpose. Fuck you. Because I'm pissed off.
Maybe all gamers
I guess all the people that are responsible for this technology die in Minecraft hardcore mode, so they don't just respawn.
Oh, wow.
And yes, I hope you're all having a wonderful week. And I'm going to keep this 2 minutes because it is 2 minutes of hate, Kevin. It's not a minute of hate.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Listen. I know this is from the past. But
he also called you a bitch.
Yeah, that cut off for me. I didn't hear that part.
Oh, well, he did. I'm just...
No, I don't believe you.
Well, he did.
I didn't hear it, so it didn't happen. Thanks for the voicemail. That was really interesting. All right.
I just want to say this is a testament to even a interesting accent. It still sounds really harsh when you don't like black women gifs. Like if that was a Florida enunciation, we'd be like, whoa. But I think the German accent gave us an extra 5 seconds.
Here, can I enlighten you on an experience that I had with something like that? Elon Musk tweeted something. I might have talked about this on the last episode, actually, but Elon Musk tweeted something out, and I said something about he should be tarred and feathered and have his Twitter account taken away because he personally irritates me. And I got in all of these Twitter arguments with these fucking idiots that thought that I was saying anything about the quarantine, which I wasn't. I was just I just don't like Elon Musk. I don't like him tweeting. He should have his account taken away. And I got in this argument with this guy called Evil Jester, who was very much shout out Evil Jester. He had his logo was a ICP looking clown jester man.
Oh, yeah.
And then he had that logo on a flag. So I don't know what the fuck was going on with that, but that guy had to have been the whitest person ever. And he responded to one of my tweets with a black woman that was rolling her eyes at me. And I'm like, you're not her. That's appropriation. You can't be a sassy black woman fucking reacting to me like that. You're not her. You can't do that to me. How dare you?
You can only be an evil clown.
And then he responded to me with a fucking GIF from what the fuck is the movie? I don't know the name of the movie. But how dare he? How dare he color switch in his sassy GIF responses to me?
What do you say that guy's name was again?
Evil Jester.
But I hardly know her.
I'm on to you, Mr. Jester, if that's your real name. Oh, it was Monty Python and the Hidden Grail, I think, was his second GIF. And it's like, you can't go from sassy black lady to Monty Python. You can't be both of those people reacting to me.
The internet's bad.
Yeah. Speaking of the internet being bad, Z Dealey in the chat says, just he.
Ooh.
That's all your fault, Aaron.
I got.
Aaron, thanks so much for coming back on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was, I'm happy my mic is working.
Yeah, you sound good.
Cool. Yeah, this was pleasant. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, I can't wait till we can all get together again in person. I know it's a little different doing these, over the airwaves, but we're making it work. And once this is all over, we'll have to do all sorts of fun outings together.
It'll be soon.
Yeah, I gotta have a barbecue or some shit.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Brett?
It'll be soon.
Yeah, I think it's going to be at some people's expense, but I think it's going to happen soon, probably. I'm not saying I'm for or against it, but I think people are going to get really restless this summer, and Pritzker's going to save face and say it was his idea when people were just disobeying shit. I don't know. This is me being a conspiracy schmuck.
Time will tell. With that being said, everybody, thank you for listening. If you feel like supporting the show, you can drop us a few bucks over at patreon.com/thoughtcops. If you want to do something for free, because everything's better when it's free, leave us a voicemail, 312-788-7361, or send us an audio file at thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Keep them under 2 minutes, folks. See you next time.
All right, thanks.